I've named this girl Big Bertha because it honestly looks like Big Bird's sister. And if Big Bird had a sister, I just feel like her name would be Bertha. It's for our disco show, and I walk out in this, and I'm like, and starting out when I want to know. Cue the music.
Good morning or good afternoon, or maybe perhaps good evening. Whatever time that it may be, I'm just so happy that you're here with me. So sit back and relax, take it slow. Welcome to the Best Day Ever show.
Good morning, good afternoon, or maybe perhaps good evening. Welcome to the Best Day Ever show. And long time no see, friends. Welcome to the Carnival Valor. This is it. It looks exactly like the Glory, doesn't it? Fun fact, it's the same class of ship. They're just sister ships. This episode today is brought to you by Takis. I ordered this bag of Takis on Amazon. Thought it was going to be a giant box. I was a little disappointed when it was this bag. Takis, for those of you who do not know, Takis, hot chili, pepper, and lime tortilla chips, artificially flavored. Takis Fuego, there it is. They're probably my favorite chips, like ever. I've had really good chips. I'm willing to try other people's chips. I will give those chips the kudos that they deserve. But Takis, I think, just win at life. If you haven't ever tried them, I recommend that you do. If you like spicy things, Takis Fuego. Not sponsored, just love them. It's been like over a month, I think, since I've recorded a video. Transitioning to the Valor was quite a process, and figuring out like this schedule and these shows and everything. It was definitely a transitional period for sure. And I didn't want to like fake it, you know? Like, one thing you can always count on me for is that I'm gonna be honest, and if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. And I just wasn't in the mood to like do this, so I didn't do it. And I think it's really important to be honest with yourself and to let yourself feel what you're feeling. And you know, I'm missing out on things at home. I'm really homesick lately, and I miss Bryan. Bryan's not on this contract, but fun fact, he gets here in 12 days. Yeah, it was a rough transitional period, and I want to be honest with that, because not everything is rainbows and sunshine, and I love my job, and it's very therapeutic for me. So I'm glad that in this process of being homesick, my therapy was like to get on stage every night and to sing, and like, I'm so happy when I'm on stage and everything makes sense, and everything you sacrifice to have this job and to like want to be a performer, and not just on cruise ships, but like, you know, people who leave everything they know and love to like go to LA or to move to New York or whatever to like try to sing and dance for a living. You give up a lot, you make a lot of sacrifices, and you know, there's times where you're like bummed out about it. I think I'm like finally feeling like I've got a groove going and settling in nicely. There's Mongolian wok on this ship, and we're allowed to eat it, and that alone just brought me all of the joy. One thing that is different for me on this contract is I am the cast seamstress. So anything costume related, if anything needs to be fixed, or like the washing schedule, or making sure people are like putting their costumes where they belong and everything is organized, that is my job. And I'm actually really grateful for it, because it gives me a sense of ownership, and it gives me a responsibility, I think, to like focus on, and it like keeps me accountable. Like, I'm in charge of something, and I'm looked at for information about something, and it makes me want to be a very good example. And yeah, it just gives me this new fun little like thing to do. So my first duty as seamstress, the first thing I had to fix was like our costumes. We have like a lot of quick changes and stuff, and so our costumes have like snaps. Like, have you ever had a button shirt that has like snaps all the way down, and then you can go like and it's very exciting. So some of our costumes have snaps like that, and one of the costumes, like, those needed to be replaced, and I was like, okay, here we go, big moment. I have a sewing machine at home, and it's like a home sewing machine, and these ones are like a little bit more industrial, so I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. It's very similar. Shout out to Molly for helping me figure out the bobbin thing. But once I figured it out, and once I changed these poppers, I cannot tell you how satisfying and how accomplished I felt. And it's for a costume for Studio VIP, and that show ends with me singing Last Dance, and then I just, like, that's a big number, and I end with like, right? And people are like, oh my gosh, that sounded great, whatever. And I wanted to be like, but did you see the costume? Did you notice the male singer's costume was on point? Like, to me, I felt way more accomplished about these snappers than like hitting that bananas note at the end. A crotch fell apart. I sewed a crotch back together. I hemmed my own pants. It's just so satisfying. So, just some basic information about this contract. I'm on the Carnival Valor. We're out of Galveston, Texas, and the port is like, it's pretty cute. It's just like a little port town, and there's like a Jimmy John's and a Starbucks, and then there's this new place that I just found. I think it's called Lolo Kai, and it's like a smoothie shop, and the Wi-Fi is pretty banging. Target and Walmart are like a quick little cute little like $6 Uber away. We moved to New Orleans on May 11th, and I'm very excited about that. I love New Orleans. It's just if you've never been, I recommend going there and just eating the food and listening to the music and walking the streets and drinking the drinks. It's a really nifty town, and I would recommend it. So I'm really excited that we get to go back to New Orleans. I was out of New Orleans on the Dream, and I just ate my weight in beignets, so that was fun. On this ship, we go to Cozumel, Mexico, and Progreso, Mexico. And Cozumel is a really cool port. It's really easy to just walk out and do different things you need to do. Like, if you want to do an excursion, you can do an excursion. If you just want to go get Wi-Fi and eat some food, there's places to do that. If you want to go chill by a hotel pool, you can do that. There are tons of options in Cozumel, so it's one of my favorite ports. It's really good. And since we have shorter cruises, we're here a lot more often. This week, I am doing what's called port manning. And I can only speak for Carnival because I've never worked for any other company, but for Carnival, you do import manning, and what it just means is that you have a specific safety duty while the ship is in port, and so you're not allowed to get off the ship because you are like a safety role here on the ship. We have a lot of precautions, and we have we have really good safety teams, and we're really well educated on how to stay safe and what to avoid on ships, so that way the ship stays in good condition, so nothing really ever happens, and you never have to like do your port manning duty. So it really just ends up being you're on the ship and you're hanging out. But it's really cool because you get to save money, and you get to sleep in, you get to do your laundry, you get to and I have service in Mexico. Shout out to T-Mobile, boop boop. So I can still go out onto the deck and check my email and call Bryan and do all those kinds of things and check Instagram. So port manning's not terrible, and our cruises are shorter, so it's a shorter amount of time that you're stuck on the ship, which is what gave me the free time to finally do this thing, So sorry it took me a little bit to get these things rolling again, but hopefully I can start doing regular videos again. I'll start interviewing the cast, and you'll get to know the people of the Carnival Valor. I'm excited to be back. Excited to get this road on the show. Excited to show you guys my new Selena shirt. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking by. If you have any questions, comment below. Blah, 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 blah.